Back in December of 2022, I was having a conversation with a friend about my channel Totally Accurate Relationship Advice, which happens more often than I'd like to admit, and it was brought up that, hey, my videos from that channel are short. You might even call them short videos, or shorts if you really wanted to save syllables. Of course, they're not YouTube shorts as they're oriented horizontally, and many of them are admittedly longer than a minute, but with some terrible cropping, they could easily become YouTube shorts. And considering how much YouTube pushes shorts and the ridiculous amount of views you can get from them, it might make sense for me to take my videos from that channel, which we'll call Tara from now on to save from having to say Totally Accurate Relationship Advice every time, crop them, and upload again as shorts. But here's the thing. I don't like YouTube shorts, mostly on principle, but also because watching shorts on a horizontal screen where I usually watch YouTube is terrible. And also, the YouTube Shorts page is genuinely terrible. That and the fact that I like the careful schedule of videos I have on Tara made me decide not to upload shorts onto Tara. Instead, I would turn this into an experiment with a simple question. Would taking my Tara videos, poorly cropping them, and uploading them as shorts to a new channel, this one, called very originally Tara Shorts, create a successful channel even if I didn't tell anyone about the channel? Unfortunately, there were a few issues with this plan, like the fact that while a lot of my videos are less than a minute, the longest a short can be before it becomes just a weird vertical video, a large amount of them aren't. And out of the ones that are, a lot of those require, or at least it would be very helpful to have, the context of a previous video that is longer than a minute. And even if you get rid of those videos, there's the issue of framing. See, a lot of my videos look like this, which works great for a horizontal video as I can wave my arms around like a madman and take up a decent amount of screen. However, if you crop a video like that to a vertical 9:16, you don't get the arms, which would be bad enough if there was something else to look at. But because I don't show my face in these videos, you can't even see me talking. You just see a torso moving around a little bit. Not only is that a terrible video, even if the audio is interesting, but the automated thumbnail, which is the only thing available to me, would look the same for pretty much every video. I had that problem anyway, but luckily thumbnails aren't that important for shorts. So that also gets rid of a bunch of videos and would have been the end for me, but luckily you can have shorts be any resolution as long as it's not horizontal, even a square. I feel like squares would be a bit much, so instead I settled for a nice 4:5, which my editing software had as a default resolution for some reason. And we were off. Now, this is an experiment, which means very scientific methods had to be used. This mostly meant two things. One, as mentioned before, I would not tell my friends about the channel, so there would be no initial views coming from people trying to support me. Two, this channel would have the same upload schedule as Tara, to make sure that the upload date and time did not affect things. I also kept a very basic description. While it would have made sense to have the same description as the original videos, I did not do that. Instead, I had this in every description, linking back to the video that had been poorly cropped and Tara itself. Because while yes, this is a very scientific experiment, it was also a desperate attempt to get Tara more views. Not a very good desperate attempt, mind you. If I had any brain cells, I would have just uploaded shorts to my actual channel, but that would have ruined the scientific integrity of the experiment. So on December 21st, I published my first short, and it did pretty well. In the first 24 hours, it already had 116 views, which, while technically not a lot, was more than my most viewed video on Tara at the time. The second short didn't do nearly as well, but the third did even better. And then I made a mistake. See, YouTube has a scheduling feature that allows you to upload a video and then have it be published to the public at a later date and time. It's great, and I use it all the time. and I was using it as part of the experiment so I could have a Tara video and a Tara Shorts video published at the exact same time, specifically 2 p.m. Central every Wednesday. However, on my 4th short, I managed to mess up the schedule for Tara Shorts and instead release it at noon. This wouldn't have been a problem, except that I panicked when I realized that had happened and re-privatized the video so it could be published at 2 instead. And while I don't know that's why the video got 0 views, it feels likely considering how well I had been doing before then. This continued onto my next video, where I only got 1 view, and sure, the first 5 videos on a channel don't determine whether the channel will be successful after that, but in my mind, I only had one last chance. My most viewed video on Tara at the time, a video called This is the Human Hand, which was the only video on that channel to have over 100 views at the time. And apparently, that video was the key, because it blew up, in tiny YouTuber terms, getting over 3,600 views in the first week. Nothing I've ever made has ever passed that, even years after publishing, which just points to how many views shorts can get. 3 weeks later, another short, This is a Whiteboard, got over 1,000 views. I was feeling great. I was getting subscribers. I was getting views. But things kind of toned down a bit after that, where I was only getting anywhere from 20 to 200 views until April. Now, up to this point, there had been 2 consistencies in view counts for this channel. The vast majority of shorts had a kind of 2-jump view count, where there'd be 1 jump in views, usually a few hours after it got published, and then it would flatten out, only to jump again in views a few hours later. The exact time would vary, and this wouldn't happen always, like with This is a Whiteboard, but it was a pretty good general rule. The rule that was much more consistent was that after being published for a week, the short was done. It might get a couple more views, but they were going to be very few and far between, and probably because somebody looked something up or was looking at shorts on my channel. That all changed with garbage relationship advice inspired by Dora and the Lost City of Gold, which I have a feeling got so many views because it's mostly just a clip from the movie. But besides the fact that the short didn't really bother having that 1 jump, 2nd jump deal, it also just kept getting views after its established week. It didn't even matter that the short the week after got 0 views because Dora just kept going. It took about a month for the short to taper off, and even then it still got views every so often, never going the week without getting at least a couple. Dora also ended up increasing my subscribers by a decent amount. Speaking of subscribers, let's talk about some of the general things I noticed as time went on. A lot of people would subscribe and then almost immediately, or at least on the same day, unsubscribed. It was a bit odd and causes some of the number of subscribers gained per video to be more than the total subscribers I had. Not that subscribers mattered, because almost no one that was subscribed to me watched any videos afterwards. In the entire time this channel has existed, I have gotten 2 views from subscribers, which does not feel good. I assume this is a combination of YouTube just not putting the shorts from your subscriptions in your short feed for some reason, and people on their phones, where generally you watch shorts, just generally not using the subscriptions tab at all, but it still didn't feel good. Another thing I noticed was that apparently between 4 and 10 seconds is the ideal length for a short. My top 6 viewed videos, including the 4 that got over 1,000 views, were in that range. And while not every video in that range got a bunch of views, even the videos that didn't get many would still get people subscribing. Now, I don't know if that's just because I'm funnier in that time frame, or if people's attention spans are just that bad, or what, but that's what I noticed. After Dora, I really only had 1 video get over 1,000 views, The Skeleton, and nothing really else interesting happened. Last week I ran out of old Tara videos to crop and release as shorts, so here I am. So, in the first around 9.5 months, this channel got 20 subscribers, which isn't bad considering that in the same time period, Tara got about 17 subscribers, and my other channel, Zymes, got about 23 subscribers. And both of those channels had an initial boost. If only those subscriptions meant something. Maybe if I had uploaded them to Tara, they would have. Now, this was totally an experiment, I swear. So, did I learn anything? Yes. While shorts are a good way of getting a bunch of views and a bunch of subscribers, they're not good for getting a bunch of viewing subscribers. You probably need actual videos for them to watch for that to happen, which is why this is here. Also, though I have no way of knowing, I don't think a single person found Tara through Tara Shorts, which means that putting a link to your actual channel in the description, something that is way too many clicks away in Shorts, is a terrible way of doing things. Who would have guessed? Probably most people. So, will I continue to make shorts to this channel when I make videos that would work this way? Probably not. There doesn't seem to be much of a reason for it, and frankly, re-uploading videos feels weird, especially when they're just a worse quality because of the weird cropping. So, I guess, if you have watched some of my shorts and enjoyed them and want to see more, go check out Totally Accurate Relationship Advice, where they're all from. I'll put a link in the description because that worked so well before. And if you like the kind of content where I just stand here for an extended period of time and talk at you, check out Zymes, because that's what I do in that channel.